So I'm reading this story that James Harden got traded because Kevin Durant wanted him traded. And they didn't work out unless they were forced to work out together. There was a lot of eye rolling. James Harden rolling his eyes at Kevin Durant. Durant didn't appreciate Harden, didn't think he was in the best shape. So once again, Kevin Durant doesn't get along with a great teammate. So he didn't get along with Westbrook, who, by the way, for all his faults, is usually well-liked by teammates. He didn't get along with Steph Curry, which is virtually impossible. Everybody in the league likes Steph Curry. He didn't get along with Draymond Green at the end. Again, very likable guy. I know Draymond. Really likable guy. He didn't get along with James Harden now. And, by the way, and I don't blame him on this one, he and Kyrie Irving don't talk much. Steve Kerr told somebody I know privately a couple years ago that coaching KD is walking on eggshells. Now I think it's going to work with Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons. It's not going to work. Remember a couple years ago, we found out that Kevin Durant had a burner account? Ever met anybody with a burner account? Isn't that kind of weird? It's kind of secretive. It's kind of non-confrontational. You want to say things, but you don't have the guts to say them to people. Kevin Durant had a burner account. I think he's just so talented that GMs and coaches and owners have always tried to appease him. But in the end, he's always left on an island. I'll give you an example. Let's think about some big winners. LeBron James. They all do it differently. LeBron's way is I'm going to control everything. I'm going to be like a de facto GM, a coach on the floor. LeBron is very much into, I got this, put you on my back, a lot of responsibility, I got this. That's LeBron's way to do it. Now, Michael Jordan didn't want to be the GM, but he would punch you if he didn't agree with you. Like, he was very confrontational. Kobe Bryant had some of that. Steph Curry is, let's all get along. I'm going to let the coach, GM, but he's going to facilitate a lot of different communication. Steph is like, let's get along, everybody. What does Kevin Durant do? He doesn't really ever facilitate. He's not willing to take the responsibility of the GM, put you on your back like LeBron. He doesn't want to do that. He's not goody-goody get along with everybody like Steph. He's not going to punch anybody. I mean, he had a Twitter account that was a burner. He's not confrontational like Jordan or Kobe. So he always ends up being sort of on an island, like every place he's at. And once again, what is he? On an island with Ben Simmons, who's aloof, and Kyrie Irving, who's a little odd. His whole career, he's on an island guy. And what happens is he gets to the playoffs, and he's just going to do it himself. I mean, that series last year against Milwaukee, because of injuries, he's just doing it himself. That's a really hard way to win in this league. And so I don't think he's a bad guy, but when people used to compare LeBron James and Kevin Durant, my takeaway was timeout. Whoa. Michael's a leader, Steph's a leader, LeBron's a leader. Kevin Durant's just talented. When I think of the other guys, I think leadership. When I think of Durant, I just think talented. So once again, what does he end up with? Some weird personalities. He's not going to get along with Kyrie. Remember about 4 months ago, he was asked about Kyrie Irving, who refused to vax. He goes, I don't know, I haven't talked to him. Once again, Kevin doing his thing, super talented, walking on eggshells. But he and Harden did not get along. And I'm not saying Harden's the easiest guy to get along with. I'm not. But I'll make a prediction that Harden and Joel Embiid are going to get along better than Kevin Durant and the misfit toys that are now the Brooklyn Nets. I'll make you that guarantee. At some point, you can't live on an island. Relationships are work. They're hard even with family. Forget other star players. Even with family, they're hard and difficult, and you have to sometimes just say what you think. I think Philadelphia is going to rock with Harden and Joel Embiid. I'll put a stamp on it. I think they're going to end up in the Eastern Conference Finals. So yesterday, Mike McCarthy had he had a kind of a rambling interview on the Rich Eisen show, which is over there on Peacock, I think. And he was asked by Rich about all the rumors that Sean Payton is going to take that Cowboy job in a year. Dan Quinn, his excellent defensive coordinator, he's going to take that Cowboy job in a year. And Rich just asked him, what's it like to be the Cowboy coach with all these rumors out there? So I'm going to make a not very bold prediction, is that in 1 year, Sean Payton is going to be offered the Cowboy job. It may be privately, it may be publicly. He'll be offered the job. Sean is going to take a broadcasting gig for 1 or 2 years. Now, he's not going to be a game analyst like a Troy Aikman or a Chris Collinsworth. Networks want you to really commit to that long term, but they'll put him on a set like a Phil Simms is on a set or Howie Long Bradshaw is on a set. They'll put him on a set. One of the networks will. Jimmy Johnson did that for a couple of years. Jimmy Johnson left Cowboys, went on TV for a couple of years, and then found a place that was a good fit for him. That was Miami. He's got a house down in the Keys. He coached the Miami Hurricanes. So that's my not very bold prediction. The Dallas Cowboys will offer Sean Payton the job in 1 year, either publicly or privately. And it's really interesting. I don't know if he'd take it, even though he has a house in Dallas. Why? Because I think Indianapolis is going to have a job potentially in 1 year. I like Frank Reich, but Jim Irsay is getting very impatient. Pete Carroll's 70. I think Seattle and Russell Wilson could have an opening in 1 year. Cliff Kingsbury finishes 4th place again, even 3rd. He's probably out of work. Arizona, Kyler Murray could have a job next year. Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Dak. Dak would probably be my 3rd choice. This season, bad jobs opened. This was like Houston's got an opening, and Miami that fires coaches every 15 minutes got an opening. A lot of bad openings. Next year, you could have Seattle. You could have Arizona. They got great quarterbacks. You could have Indianapolis. You could have the Dallas Cowboys, well-funded, well-capitalized. So, you know what I think's happening to Mike McCarthy? And I listened to the interview this morning. And I think this happens, I think it happens to a lot of people. I think it's scary for a lot of people. You get older, you get into your late 50s, early 60s, and you're in an industry, and the industry gets really young, really fast. And that's NFL head coach. We just had 36-year-old Sean McVay beat 38-year-old Zach Taylor. NFL coaching is getting really young, really fast. So is college. You can talk about Saban and Belichick. Belichick, I think, and nobody wants to say this, I think he's struggling to pivot to the new NFL, which is a weapons league. It's always been a quarterback league. It's a weapons league. Of 7 of the last 8 teams, in fact, you can make an argument all of the last 8 teams. I don't think Green Bay has great weapons. I love Devontae, Aaron, and Aaron Jones, but I don't think they have a ton of depth. But you can argue of the last 8 teams left, all 8 are in the top 12 best weapons in the league. New England's bottom of the league. Even Belichick's struggling to pivot. And Mike McCarthy is 58 years old, and I listened to that interview, and he sounds old for 58 years old. And so it's not a bold prediction because Sean Payton, I believe, is in his 50s, but feels much more dynamic, feels much more creative. But sometimes industries, they get young fast, late night television, NFL coaching. Tech's always been young, and you feel outdated. And as I listen to Mike McCarthy, seems like a nice guy. That's what he feels like today. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.